Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi. All praises, glory, and honor go unto the Most High Power, Yahweh, in the name of His beloved Son, Yahawashi. Double honors go unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that do rule exceptionally well. Citations, peace, mercy, and blessings go unto you sincere brothers that are out there that push this word with truth and with faith. My name is Thabo Amath of Great Millstone Northwest. And today I'm just really, this should be a real short lesson. I just want to pretty much pull a precept based off of this past week's camp. There was two separate parties of people that came up, and they both got hung up on the exact same topic, which was that Yahawashi was not sent for everybody, specifically the heathen. Yahawashi wasn't sent for salvation for the heathen. He's only sent for salvation of Israel, and that's something that's well known. And it goes even deeper that he's only for the elect of the nation of Israel. But to just stay pretty much on the topic at hand, I just this was a precept. I was on camera at the time. Brothers was going into these topics with these people. Okay, so I just got a real quick precept that's going to show that Yahawashi is, it's pretty much Yahawashi only came for the nation of Israel. All right, so this is something I found reading a little earlier. It's in John the 11th chapter. Let me scroll down because it's not at the beginning of the it's not at the beginning. So Salak, let me find where it's at. Here it is. We'll start at 45. Yeah, we'll start at 45. So pretty much though, the people, everybody's inside that crazy fantasy thinking that who they call Jesus, right? Who we know his proper name in the Hebrew is Yahawashi. Okay. Everybody thinks that Yahawashi came to save the entire world and that you could just do whatever the fuck you want and then repent at the end and you're going to be saved, when that's clearly not the case. More importantly, Yahawashi, he only came for the elect out of the nation of Israel. So reading here in John the 11th chapter, starting at the 45th verse, this is right after Yahawashi raises Lazarus from the dead. Okay, so it says, starting at verse 45, it says, "Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Yahawashi did," which what he did was he rose Lazarus from the dead. That's the miracle that he just did within this chapter. And then it says, "believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Yahawashi had done. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, What do we do? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation." And that's what they was worried about. That's what the high priest and the Pharisees was worried about back then. And you know what? It's the same story today, man. You got guys that are so-called leaders in Israel, right? They got people where people listen to them or people follow them or whatever. But instead of rather letting the course play out to where people will actually believe on Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi, instead they think about, the Romans, which modern day the Americans, is going to come in and take away our place in our nation if we teach the right thing, because they're truly getting chipped in, with their 501c3 charters. That's beside the point. Since the point was there, I was forced to expound on it, but that's not the point of this lesson. But just keep that in mind, that that's the same situation that's going on today, where people are taking counsel against the men that are doing right, all for the fact of trying to keep this place Babylon going another number of years so they could set up their universities and get more money and establish their church and get more money and whatever. Anywho, getting back to John the 11th chapter, starting at 49. Now it says, and one of them named Caiaphas, and Lord willing I'm pronouncing that right. And if you know anything about this guy Caiaphas, who was the chief priest at the time when Yahawashi was on the scene, this guy was a fucking real fucking 2/3, man. This guy was a real coon, you know. What's the word? Steven, you know, that house nigga, man. The head fucking house nigga was this guy Caiaphas, man. And he was the main one that was really coming after Yahawashi, man, you know, as the chief priest, because he knew that the people was believing on Yahawashi, man, you know. And when Yahawashi, anytime Yahawashi was in front of him, he always confounded him, you know. So this guy had a real hatred towards Yahawashi. All right, but pay attention to what he says. All right, it says, and one of them named Caiaphas, being the high priest the same year, saith unto them, ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. Okay, so just consider what he said, and remember, he was saying that out of the 2/3 of his heart. He didn't even realize pretty much what he said, you know, pretty much that he was prophesying that, you know, Yahawashi had to do this for the nation of Israel not to be casted away by the Most High. You know, that thought didn't even cross this man's mind. He was just doing it out of the envy and the strife and the hatred that he had towards Yahawashi. But check out what he said, though. That it is expedient that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not, man. One man's going to die for the people. What people? The people of Israel. So that whole nation, the nation of Israel, die not, man. And that's what Yahawashi accomplished, all right? Reading on verse 51, it says, and this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahawashi should die for that nation. It says for that nation. For what nation, man? For the nation Yahawashi was a part of, the nation of Israel. You know, that's pretty you know, that's pretty clear. That Yahawashi should die for that nation. It doesn't say that Yahawashi should die for the world, and that Yahawashi should die for all nations. All right, it says for that nation. All right, reading on verse 52, it says, and not for that nation only. All right, so here it goes, because the people, oh, it was only for that nation. Well, hold on, not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of the Most High that were scattered abroad, man. Who was scattered abroad? The Israelites, man. All right, so that covers the Gentiles as well, you know. And that was a big topic for us this past weekend at camp with the people that came up, is that Yahawashi died for the elect of the nation of Israel, man, and that Israel was scattered abroad, and that's what the Gentiles go into, you know. But pretty much that was the point. Is that, you know, it says it right here in John the 11th chapter that Yahawashi should die for that nation, and not for that nation only, but that he should also gather together in one mind. All right, not all with a different doctrine, all with the same doctrine, in one, the children of the Most High that were scattered abroad, man. All right, which the scriptures tell you that the children of the Most High was the Israelites, man. So pretty much that's all I wanted to get out. That was the quick little precept that I thought of while the situation was going down, and I thought to myself I might as well just go ahead and just make a little baby lesson out of it. 144. Lord willing, brothers was edified. Lord willing, brothers got that message. Once again, all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High Power Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom, salutations, peace, mercy, and blessings unto you, sincere brothers that's out there that push this word with truth and with faith. All right, until next time, shalom.